Hello?
Ayun. Hello everybody and welcome to our Zendikar Rising set review, and we are now covering green, and as you can see in my upper right corner of the screen, you will see that I have a very special guest, and my guest is none other than our curator for MTG Davao, TonTon, maayong gabi sa imuha, Ton. Kamusta?
Yeah, good evening.
Ayun.
Just got back from my niece's birthday party just now.
Oy, galing party. Saan ang lumpia natin dyan?
Alright. Sa
Wala.
balay lang ako.
Sa balay lang di ay ang party. Wow. Anyway, Ton, Zendikar Rising. Maglabas na ang Zendikar Rising. Excited ka na may bagong bala ang green mo?
Excited ako sa mga bagong cards.
Diba? Marinig mo na excited masyado si Tonton. So before we start our podcast, ang aming lang gawin is we will cover the Mythic Rares, then the Rares, then we will choose our commons, uncommons of the set that we are excited to play. So Ton, ready na ka, Ton?
Okay na. Ready na.
Ready na. Di ba? So our first card, our first mythic is, sorry, wait lang, ayun, is Ancient Green Warden. Ancient Green Warden is a creature elemental with 5/7, with 4 colorless and 2 green mana. It has reach, and it says you may play lands from your graveyard, and if a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So, Ton, excited ka? Feeling na ko excited ka na card. Why? Why are you?
Kusog siya. Malakas. It's strong.
It's strong.
Although it's costly, but the effect is strong. So, it's like a crucible of worlds on a stick.
And a pan-harmonicon, land harmonicon.
Yeah. Land harmonicon.
So if anybody is confused, the second ability after reach is a crucible of worlds, and the second ability, the third line is a pan-harmonicon for land. So Ton, standard, Ton, may makita ba natin tong Ancient Green Warden sa standard?
Pwede. Kay sa standard may Fabled Passage at Field of Ruin. So pwede siya makavalue sa Fabled Passage, at pwede din soft lock with Field of Ruin like before if konti ng basics yung kalaban.
Wait lang, sa Fabled Passage, paano ba yun? Paano ba yun sa Fabled Passage? Yung untap? Tap and tap ba yun?
Kung 4 lands, untap siya.
Yeah.
Value ka sa
okay, yung Crucible na effect sa Fabled Passage. Pero hindi siya mag-trigger sa Pan-Harmonicon na effect.
Hindi.
Akala ko pwede ka mag-tap and tap. Okay.
Kung mga lag mo triggers, madoble.
Pwede. Wait lang.
Pero medyo costly lang, pero strong effect.
Okay. Tapos sa EDH, Ton, saan to siya makikita sa EDH? Anong klaseng deck? Halos lahat ng green?
Not sure. Baka modern pwede sa Balakot. Double triggers, I think.
Para din kasama ni Prime Time.
Escape Shift.
So, with a man with few words, Ton, Ancient Green Warden, is this a yay, a nay, or a meh overall?
Overall, it's a yay.
It's a yay.
It's a yay for me.
Bigyan natin ng wow yan. It's a yay from TonTon. And I also agree, a pan-harmonicon with the crucibles in one creature is very strong in EDH, also in land-based decks. Diba? So, with that out of the way, we will proceed with our second mythic. Nag-load pa ang card. Thank you very much, Philippine Internet. Our next mythic is Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild is a legendary creature elemental with 3 colorless mana and 2 green. It has star XX, where it says Ashaya, Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. So, Ton, Anthem effect. Anong tingin mo na itong card na to?
Unique yung effect. Unique siya.
Yeah.
In standard, it's kind of so pa. It doesn't have evasion.
Oh, yeah.
But its effect is strong though.
Yeah.
It's like all your creatures can convoke since they can add mana now.
Yeah, they're forest. Ooh. So if you have your favorite enchantment creature, the triple the mana plus Ashaya, so there's a lot of, oh dear.
Still, by itself, it's still a big creature though.
Yes, it's a big
Okay,
creature.
it counts all the lands and the creatures you control. So if you have 5 creatures and 5 lands, it's a 10/10 for 5 mana.
Oh, I did not know that. Wait. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh wow. So pag 10-10 on so kung mag-curve, so for example kung mag-curve ng bird,
First turn
bird,
goose, second turn Linawar, Visionary,
yeah.
third turn this. So you get 1, 2, 3, 6, third turn na.
Oh, wow. So, in limited ton, automatic first pack, first pick.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a bomb. It's a wow.
It's a bomb.
Yes, it's a bomb. So, with that out of the way, Ashaya, Soul of the Wild, is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay.
It's a yay again because it's green.
Yes, it's green.
So, are we going to expect you to play four copies of Ashaya in your standard deck?
Not sure yet. Maybe 3.
Oh, maybe 3. You heard it. So, without that out of the way, Ashaya, a very big beefy creature, we're gonna turbo away and we're going for our modal mythic, which is Turn Timber Symbiosis. So Turn Timber Symbiosis is a sorcery with 4 colorless and 3 green, and it says look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If that card has converted mana cost 3 or less, it enters with 3 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And since this is a modal card, it flips into Turn Timber Serpentine Wood. It is a bolt land, as Sean said. It is as Turn Timber
Bolt
Serpentine
lands.
Wood enters the battlefield. You may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tap and it adds green mana. So, Ton, collective company?
It's somewhat like Summoning Trap or see the Unwritten from before.
Yes.
But it's sorcery though, and it costs more.
That's no problem for green decks. So
Yeah,
I think this is one of the modal mythics that might see play. Pero in the lineup sa green sa standard, Ton, ano ang 3 mana cost or less na maka-benefit talaga nitong Turn Timber Symbiosis?
3 counters.
Or paano mo gawin ang, for example, kung meron akong Turn Timber Symbiosis, anong klaseng deck ang mas magandang gawin? Yung puro bombs or more than 7 mana, or yung small creatures na pwede maglaki because of the plus 3 plus 3+1+1 counters.
Parang any combination, ha? Kaya pwede siya sa small or big eh. Tapos
Oh.
most of the time, parang land siya sa early eh. Tapos parang kung top deck mo siya, at least makas mo kaysa na land top deck mo.
Yeah, 'di ba? So this is a tama no. Pag if it's in your hand tapos you need answers, this is better than top decking a land. And since it's
Yeah.
a modal card, you are willing to take 3 to cast your Gilded Goose on turn 1 if you need to.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So
Even a goose with 3 counters is a threat.
yeah, oh yes, even a goose with 3 counters.
Counts a 3/4.
3/4
3/4
flying. So, with that out of the way, turn Timber Symbiosis. Is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay because it's a modal land. So yeah, it's a yay.
So in your mono green standard deck, standard deck, Ton, will you put this so that you can tutor your the enchantment creature, the triple mana? Ugh.
Oh yes.
Oh.
It's a land. It's an untap land. So it's a 4 orbs in any green deck.
Oh no, you heard that. You heard that TonTon is looking for 4 copies. but anyway, with that out of the way, that's a big yay for TonTon, and we might see 4 copies of this in green decks. So, with that out of the way, we have ended our Mythic Rares in Zendikar Rising, and we will now go to our rares. And the first rare that we will cover is very, very spicy. I really, really like this rare card because it's very dirty. I feel that when I cast this and I can attack with this, I feel very dirty. And this is Cragplate Balot. Cragplate Balot is a creature beast with 6/6 for 5 colorless and 2 green mana. It has kicker of 2 colorless and 1 green. This spell can't be countered. Hexproof, haste. If Cragplate Balot was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 4+1+1 counters on it. Ton. What is this card?
Okay. It's like a Carnage Tyrant.
Oh,
Tyrant.
yes.
Without a trample though.
But 6/6 hexproof haste can't be countered. Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
dirty. It's so dirty.
It's like the Gia's Revenge from the old sets, but this is bigger toughness and hexproof.
And hexproof. So, how many copies can we see this in your mono green deck? or
Mama.
oh wait, so there's a quick pause.
Okay na.
Yeah. Okay na.
Okay na.
It's okay. May mga guests din tayo dyan. So, Cragplate Balot. Sa tingin mo, main deck or sideboard card?
Could be main if there's heavy removal in the meta or heavy control decks in the meta. But if if the meta is more on aggro, then maybe more on a sideboard card.
Oh, having a 6/6 for 7 mana for hexproof haste is true value. It's still good value. So in limited Ton, if you see this in your first pack, in your first pick, slam dunk kagad to na pick.
No, it's hard to kill eh. It's a big body.
It's a big body, and if you have enough mana in the long game, a 10 to cast 10/10 hexproof haste creature is very good, and it will bully the board very much.
Yes.
So, yes, indeed. So, Ton, In EDH, this is not really enticing because it's just one card. It does not affect the board. So we might
Yeah.
see this in constructed more. In limited, very
Yeah.
much every day. But with that out of the way, Ton, Crag Plate Balot, is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
Yeah, it's a yay for me. It's a yay.
Oh, I think all the green cards is a yay for for
Yeah.
TonTon.
All the green cards in Zendikar are stronger.
Yes, I
For me,
think I think Wizards made very good green cards, which I feel is very kawawa na si Black pati si White. So I think White has some good cards, but bossing in that issue saw very many good cards also. So with that out of the way, let's not talk about white. We're talking about green. So we're going for our next rare. And our next rare is Inscription of Abundance. Inscription of Abundance is a instant for 1 colorless and 1 green. It has kicker for 2 colorless and 1 green. And it says choose one. If the spell was kicked, choose any number instead. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control. And target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Ton, the only instant na
mm,
inscription. What do you think?
it's good. It's like the Dromocast command before.
Oh. Do-
Itutukas and uh, eh, it's very good against aggro decks.
Oh. Yes, it's it.
Can be a game changer.
So, yeah, the mono green aggro decks would greatly benefit because it's an instant for 2 mana. It's so good. It's very good. I give it the
Yeah.
wow, the magical fairy wow. Uh but if you don't have, so this card is only useful if you have creatures in play. But if you don't have
No, yes.
creatures in play, this is very sad times. So
Yeah,
this,
but this is very good though against mirror and aggro decks.
oh
All the modes are relevant though against aggro, even the gain life.
yes, since if Zendikar Rising enters standard, most probably you will end up with more aggro decks than control decks and mid-range decks, and inscription looks very very nice. Yee.
Yes.
Is this an automatic 4 of in an aggro deck, Ton, in 2 color aggro decks, or in a monocolor deck?
Not sure about four. Maybe 2 to 3. Depending on the meta.
Oh, it depends on the meta. So,
The
with
worst
that,
case is you
oh,
can put out 2 counters.
yeah, on the opponent's creature. That's the worst thing that you can do.
Uh,
Or,
yes.
yeah, or target player gains life. Yeah,
No, yes.
yeah. So, with it in EDH, utility is king. So, if you're a green-based aggro commander deck, Inscription of Abundance is a good option for you for combat tricks because it's very flexible, just like the other inscriptions, the blue and the black ones. Because I'm not really sure what happened in the story because I haven't covered the story yet. I don't know where the inscription for white and red went. So maybe later we'll talk about where the white and red inscription went. So, any other input, Ton? Ano pa yung dapat malalaman natin about this card? Is this a first pick card?
Mm, yeah, I think so. It's a removal.
Okay, it's a remove.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's a
rapid fight.
removal. Yeah, and it trumps stall board mates, board states.
No.
Sorry, yun. So,
Yes.
in limited it's good. It's in standard it's good. It's in commander it's good. So Ton, Inscription of Abundance. Is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay.
It's another yay. It's another yay. We'll give that a a yay. And with that in mind, we will proceed with our next rare. And maybe this would be the first rare that TonTon will say nay or meh. And this card is still loading. And there it is. And our next card, and next green rare is Kazandu Mamot. Kazandu Mamot is a creature elephant for 1 colorless and 2 green for 3/3. And it has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Kazandu Mamot gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And this is our modal rare for green. And Kazandu Mamot turns into Kazandu Valley. Kazandu Valley enters the battlefield tap and it adds green mana. So Ton, ito na. What do you think about this elephant?
It looks plain at first, but the ability is somewhat okay though. It's a 3/3/3, and it's mostly a 5/5 on turn 4, turn 5. Or
Okay.
more.
Especially if you have Fabled Passage.
Yes, if you have then it's a 4/7. No,
Fourth,
7/7.
yeah, fourth, third, 7/7. Oh dear. Okay. I thought this would be the one card in green that you would be sad. But in pertaining with the rare modal cards, Ton, is it is are you going to put 4 copies of it and subtract the number of lands that you have, or you would still have like 24 lands and still have 4 copies of Kazandu Mamot?
Oh, I know.
Mm.
Um,
It's all in the deck building.
yeah, it's depends on the deck though.
But since this is landfall, I think if you have like 4 Kazandu Mamots and 24 lands, it's still good because Kazandu likes the flood. So
Yeah.
yeah, so even though you top deck a land, this becomes a 5/5 and all. And if you don't have the lands yet in your opening hand, a first turn top land is not so bad, no? I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I answered my question. So, in limited ton, is this a really good card with only like 16, 17 mana base? And is this a first pack, first pick situation?
Mm, yeah, I think it's good.
Then you can build
It's mostly 3/5/5 and you can moda the land if you don't need the creature.
Yeah, that's why it's now we get it now why it's rare, because 3 to cast 3/3 in limited is very solid stats, and with the landfall mechanic it's very dirty. And with that out of the way, Ton, Kazandu Mamot, is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay.
It's still a yay for TonTon. Let's give it the wow again. And I know that our next rare is very exciting. And I know that itong next rare natin, Ton, na-shock ka ba na meron siya in standard of all the green
Mm,
cards?
Parang okay lang man.
Uh,
Kay hindi hindi na reprint yung fetch lands eh. So parang okay lang except yung Fabled Passage. Yeah.
yeah. And we're talking about Lotus Cobra. Lotus Cobra is back, baby. And Lotus Cobra is a creature snake for 1 generic mana and 1 green. It has 2/1 and it just says landfall, and it says whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Ooh la 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 la. The dirty things Lotus Cobra did way back then. Ton, what can we see in
Yeah, it
Lotus
was
Cobra
called
in standard?
Thunder before with him was very busted. The Mythic
Yeah.
band was so popular then that it it won a lot of games in the GPs and such.
Yes.
But now without the fetch except table, it's kind of balanced right now.
But but I think with the modal lands, Lotus Cobra is very enticing to build around because you can now like still have lands, still have modal lands. Uh, Not unlike the olden days, like if you don't draw a land, Lotus Cobra is just a 2-drop. So so
No,
so
yes.
even in standard, this looks promising, but the ability of you to play a turn 3 5
Five,
drop.
five mana on turn 3.
5 mana on turn 3 is very very spicy indeed, and with Gilded Goose and other ramp creatures, Lotus Cobra seems to be the big boss of ramp in standard. So,
Yes.
yes. And in Commander, magbunyi lahat ng Commander decks na green because Lotus Cobra is here. This is a very good card with green-based decks because it fixes your mana whenever you put a land drop and it ramps you at the same time, which is a very big plus. Pero Ton,
Mm.
in limited, first pack, first pick, nakita mo to. Tapos, you play to win, ha?
Mm.
You play to win, not play to rare draft. So,
Yeah. Now, if first pick, not so much. I think I prefer bigger eye removal or bigger threats. I think for the first
oh,
pick.
yes. So, pero pag mga second, third pick and so on, if you're green, makita mo to,
Really.
auto pick. It is a auto pick
To pick.
because it's rare and it's very, I think it's $6 and 53 cents pre-order now. So,
Oh.
so if you have any Lotus Cobra lying around, if you pick them up, it's either you use it or you sell it immediately. And with
It's cheap, no? Compared
it,
before.
yes,
Before, it was like 1K each.
yes, because Iconic Masters right now is $13, while the
Mm.
Zendikar, the original copy, is $16. And
Still expensive.
yeah, it's still very expensive, the old printing. And the Grand Prix promo is a whopping $55. So,
What?
yeah.
I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich.
What? So with 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 that out of the way, we check the price. This is one of the more pricier Zendikar rares that we will see. Ton, Lotus Cobra. Is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay.
Yeah,
The
it's
sure
a
yay.
yay. It's a yay once again. And you heard it first. It's a yay for Lotus Cobra. And I am also very excited for Lotus Cobra for green decks because it will help them ramp, especially when they're on the draw and you cast this on turn 2. On the draw, you can catch up with the opponent on the play. Lotus Cobra is very good.
Yes.
But our next card is very, very controversial because a certain white player has declared that this is the big brother of Scavenging Ooze. And we will find out now if this is the big brother of Scavenging Ooze. And this is Oran Reef Ooze. Oran Reef Ooze is a creature ooze with 2 generic mana and 1 green mana. It has 2/2, and it says when Oran Reef Ooze enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever Oran Reef Ooze attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. So para hindi masyado tayo mabulol, tawagin ko din siyang Oro. Hindi siya si Uru,
Oro.
si Oro. So,
Oro.
so, Oro, Ton, Scavenging Ooze?
Nah, it's more like it seems similar to the Predator Ooze before.
Oh.
That whenever it attacks, it grows
Yes.
big, but not that indestructible though.
Oh.
It's
But,
also it's also a smaller version of the Colonial Hydra before. Whenever it attacks,
plus
double
one.
the counters, but this only one.
Oh. But, I think this Ooze is also very good alone because you cast it, you put the +1/+1 counter on him, and
Yes.
when he attacks, he grows big. Just like
Yeah.
Scavenging Ooze. But,
It's a 3 to cast 4/4 myself.
yeah, three to cast 4/4 on turn 4. So, when it
Yeah.
attacks. Oh, wow, it's very good. And since in M21, there's a archetype in M21 that focuses on +1/+1 counters. So this is like
Yes.
your anthem effect along with the Hydra
Yes.
and the green-white creature. So +1/+1.
Yeah, like Yorvo and Stone Serpent.
Oh no! Don't let us not give them ideas of a deck. But yun. Yorvo, Stormcoil Serpent, the green-white creature, the
Yes.
Hydra, the X-Hydra, uncommon, there oh my god. Yeah, it's very dirty. Again, another very dirty deck idea with the +1/+1 counters. In limited ton, is this a bomb or not?
Yes, it's a bomb.
It's
It must be answered. If not, it
yes.
grows big.
Ooh, just like what Jesus says, these are the cards that you need to answer now, or if it can attack, it will create problems with to the opponent. And it's
Yes.
yes. So Oro is very good. In Commander, this is also a very good card for +1/+1 counters matters decks because it is a
Yes.
anthem. This is the anthem for +1/+1 counters, and it is aggressively costed at 3 mana. So, uh, so this is very very good in that kind of deck. So, uh, so wala mang so Ton, if this attacks, if this gets to attack, then you kill it. Will his trigger activate?
No, but you
Oh.
can respond on the trigger before it grows. So you
Okay.
can 3 damage it before it grows.
Okay. Okay. So that the rest of the team will not grow. So a shock if you don't put the +1/+1 counter on Oro, it's a 2/2, you can
Yeah.
shock it. Okay. So with
But when it attacks, the trigger will still apply even if it dies.
okay.
You
With
have to
that in
kill it
mind,
before combat step.
yan. And
Yeah.
that's a mini oracle text from our judge level 1, level 2. Level 2 ka na ba?
Level 1.
No, level with our
Level
level 1
1.
judge. In our level 1 judge, that's an oracle text, and it's very easy. The simple guide is reading the card, explains the card. So with that out of the way, Ton, Oran Reef Ooze, is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay. For standard at least.
Yes, for standard because it's very but in a mono green aggro deck, Ton, will this take over Yorvo or Lovestruck Beast in the 3-drop slot?
mm,
Or will you take away the Lovestruck
maybe
Beast? Oh no, a mono
no,
green
no.
+1/+1. Ah!
Damn it.
Oh
Daming
my
trade off na
God, the
pala.
Great Henge. The Great Henge. Tapos si
Ano,
Uz,
great range.
Yurbo. Tapos yung demigod na green. Oh no.
No, no.
Why are we making decks? Why are we suggesting decks? Oh, it's very dirty. Oh, I feel so dirty. It's a okay. Oro
Oh,
is a yay, and there are lots of decks that you can play with. And we are now
yeah.
going to move on to our next rare, and this is a callback to one of my most favorite cards in Zendikar block because it's very cute. It's Scute
Cute.
Swarm. It's Scute Swarm.
Cute swarm. Yeah,
Scute
it's like the Scout Mob before. Scout Mob.
is yeah. Scute Swarm is a creature insect for 2 colorless and 1 green. It has 1/1 and it just has landfall. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scute Swarm instead. Ton, what do you think? Is this the new huh?
Its effect seems strong.
It's
Mm,
would this be the new Field of the Dead?
mm,
Mm.
not sure. It's a strong effect though.
It has yes, it's a very strong effect. If you draw this early, you'll create an army by himself. If you draw him
Yeah,
late, you can still catch up and create an army by himself. Ah,
yeah. It's a 1-1 army.
it's a 1/1 army of Scute mobs.
Cute.
Yeah, so from a Scute mob, it became a Scute swarm. Yes, because it can act as a enchantment. It will just stay back, and you will just put lands, and you will have infinite, near pseudo infinite blockers. Especially if you're already on 6 lands. Ah, wait. So question. Uh, when
No,
you put the land and you have 6 lands in play, when you put the land drop already, you have 5 lands, you put the 6 mana.
no.
Does it make the copy or is it still the 1/1 green insect?
If control, then create a token that's copy of. Yeah, it's a copy. You create the copy first. So the
Oh,
copy
okay.
doesn't get another trigger yet.
Okay. So, hindi pwede yung like the style of all times na land drop, then double triggers. So, there's 2 Scute Swarms and 2 insects. It becomes infinite or whatever. So,
Yeah.
there's no shenanigans like that. But I think
No.
there's a I think a combo. I see a combo in Scute Swarm, but I cannot.
Yeah, I think so. It feels like a combo card.
Yes, it screams a combo card where you like put a land drop, make a copy, sacrifice the copy, search a land. I have a bad.
Maybe maybe in
In
modern, I think. Maybe
in modern na
there's
rin
with
ko.
escape shift.
No, but they have Field of the Dead. So Scute Swarm is very
Wala.
cute in Field of the Dead decks. But in standard, if I haven't checked all the cards, but there may be a combo, and our favorite YouTuber, mini shout out to Mono Black Gaming. Maybe he will make a deck around Scute Swarm.
Maganda.
Yeah, I'll tag
Yeah,
him in this video.
he's still wrestling pa, di ba?
Yes. Yeah. Quick reminder to everybody: this week is the pre-release event where streamers will play Zendikar Rising before it goes out in arena and it goes out on paper. So if you want some inspiration for decks, you can check those streamers, Magic the Gathering streamers that play Zendikar Rising earlier, a week early. Yun. So, with that out of the way, Ton, Scute Swarm, is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay.
It's
Yay.
another yay. It's another yay for TonTon. Yeah.
I think you can combo this with the new mythic, the Green Warden, ancient Green Warden,
Oh.
and with Fabled Passage. So you get a token every turn.
Oh no. Oh no no. No, why did you give idea, Ton? Oh no. Yes.
Yes.
Oh wow, tama no. Oh my gosh. Then you can feel the Bruin. We can feel the
No,
Bruin
Fabled Ruin, yeah.
also. Fabled Passage. I'm starting to look into the possibility of a mono green Scute Swarm combo deck. Mono green prison. But that's out of the way. It's also a yay. We have not heard from TonTon a nay or a meh from all green mythics and rares yet. And I hope the streak will come alive because our next rare is Swarm Shambler. So Swarm Shambler is a creature fungus beast for 1 green mana. And it has 0/0. And it says Swarm Shambler enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. So you pay one mana and tap, put a +1/+1 counter on Swarm Shambler. So Ton.
Shambler.
Another tongue twister. Swarm Shambler.
Ang sister.
Yes. What do you think of this card?
It seems similar to the Hangerback Walker from before. Like, pay one, tap, put a +1/+1 counter. But it
Yeah.
doesn't have the strong ability of Hangerback. Like when it
When
dies,
it
you get the
dies.
tokens. Instead, when it targets, you get the token. If it has a counter.
But the opponent has to target the Shambler. So
Yeah, yes.
but
It's a little conditional.
yeah, it's very conditional. But we've seen the Oro. We've seen Oro. So
Yeah.
the Shambler and the
This fits
Oro
this
together.
fits nicely with the Oro.
They are very
Since Spell
synergistic.
Collector will be rotating out, I think this will be the next one drop for their deck. For Mono
The
Green.
Pelt Collector. Oh, long live Pelt Collector. So this would be the new Pelt Collector. Oh, wow. Pwede. Oh no.
It's okay. It's lower than Pelt, but it's
Yeah.
better than other one drops, I think.
Yes, it's one of the better one drops available for green. So mono green aggro is still very viable, especially with the +1/+1 counter theme. Oh no.
Yes.
Big creatures. Oh my gulay. And with the I think heroic intervention is in M21. So
No.
mono green. Mono green decks looks very very promising in the meta. And I hope they do be very successful because I am now very sick and tired of watching Uro being played.
Puro.
I am sick and tired. So in limited, in limited, this is an automatic bomb. This is categorized as a bomb?
Yes. If you play it on turn one, it can grow very big.
Yeah. You just have one available mana. It's a very good
No.
blocker if it's very big because it can block and pump itself. So so creature combat is very tricky with untapped Swarm Shambler. It's very there. It's a good one drop. I have to agree. This is a good one drop. In Commander, it's another new fungus in any fungus commander decks. So another new card to find and add in your commander decks. So with that out of the way, because in my mind I've been thinking of green decks to build because of whatever you said, TonTon, is Swarm Shambler a yay, a nay, or a meh?
I think I'm gonna go with meh for now. It's in
Oh,
between the good and the bad.
oh. Kaguya-sama is very disappointed.
It's good in the early, but it's disappointing when you top deck it.
Okay. Yeah, if it's a top deck, it's very very meh. But
No.
a turn one Fungus is very amazing to play because it has the Hanger Backwalker. So our first meh, Kaguya-sama is very disappointed. She said ara many times because of the meh. So with that out of the way, we will now proceed to our next rare, and this is the Party Matters rare, and this is Tajiru Paragon. Tajiru Paragon is a creature elf for 1 colorless and 1 green. It has 3/2, and it says Tajiru Paragon is also a cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. It has kicker 3, and it says when Tajiru Paragon enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, reveal the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a card that shares a creature type with it from among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Ton, nadami akong tanong nito na card, pero anong tingin mo sa card na to?
It's a solid creature. It's tutukan straight to eh. So based from that stat alone, it's okay na eh. With a bonus na ng kicker.
Ooh. It has the 5-drop of the summoning trap that shares a creature type. But since it is a elf, cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, so this is a pseudo tutor for elf decks, cleric decks, rogue decks, and warrior decks. So my question is, if you have Tajiru Paragon in play and you have a rare card or a card that counts the number of party members, does Tajiru Paragon counts as all party members, or does the bonus of the party activate with just Tajiru Paragon in play?
I think not eh. I haven't seen the list notes yet, but I think for the party you have to at least one of each creature for the types, different types.
So this is just like the changeling rule, where even though it has a lot of creature types, what do you think? It counts as only one card in a party because you cannot have.
Yeah, I think
Ayan. What?
Yeah, I think the party keyword is counted as for each creature, not for each creature types.
Okay. So a very concrete example is Gandalf is a wizard. You cannot see him with a full body armor, a mask, and he's a wizard. And unless you play Diablo 1, where you can be both a wizard, archer, and a warrior. So the party mechanic is very strict. It needs one party member of each type. So in play, right?
Yeah, you can't have a party with just one person.
Yeah. But
you have to at least 2 or more people to have a party.
Yes. It's not it's 2 to tango, 3 to party. But so this is a very good card with the 5-color party deck, because if you're missing that one party member, Tajiru Paragon would be the one that will find the missing party member, and all the bonuses from Party Matters cards will be very very effective. But yes, in limited, it's very solid also, because as you've said kanina, Ton, a 2-drop for 3/2 is better than a 2-drop 2/2.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've already tackled everything about this card. Ton, Tajiru Paragon. Is this a yay, a nay, or a meh?
It's a yay.
It's a yay. It's a yay again. So naputol ang streak, and we are now back to the yay streak. And with that, we conclude our review of the mythics and rares in Zendikar Rising Green, and uh, now we proceed with our segment where we will now choose some uncommon and common cards that we are very interested in, because we will not try to cover each and every uncommon card here, because it would take us until tomorrow, because it is green and TonTon likes green very much. So, Ton. So,
No.
Ton, in the uncommon slot, are there cards that you are very excited to see in standard play or in modern play or in any constructed format?
Mm, maybe the Roiling Regrowth?
Oh,
If
Roiling
the
Regrowth.
one that's similar to Harrow from before.
Yes. Uh, so what about Roiling Regrowth? Will we see this more over Cultivate, or is Cultivate still the go-to 3-drop mana ramp?
Mm, if you want on more only RAM, then cultivate is better, I think. But Roiling Regrowth is you can trigger two landfalls with one
Ooh.
card. So maybe aggressive decks for the
Yes.
Roiling Regrowth.
So the aggressive landfall decks will need this as a combat trick, just like the elephant that
No.
we discussed. Oh dear. Oh
Yes.
wow. Oh wow. So 3-drop is the elephant. On your turn,
No.
you attack. They don't block. You roiling regrowth.
No.
Fabled passage, roiling regrowth. Oh wow, alpha
Oh, that's
strike.
8. So take,
So
take 11 to the fourth turn.
take take 11 on the fourth turn. Oh wow, landfall green decks is very happy. It's very disgusting indeed. So roiling regrowth is one of your uncommon cards. Any other uncommon cards that you're excited to see?
Mm, the one named Bala Get Recovery.
Linbala.
It's
Um,
like it's a recollect with the upside of a land, so it's better
ah,
than recollect.
but it's a land. It's also a modal card. So
Yeah, which make it better than recollect.
yes, and we've been missing recollect effects in standard other than Tamio. So
No,
having
yes.
Balaged in a very splashable mana cost, very good. And since it is a modal card, if you don't need the card, you can always land drop it. That's the good thing about
Yes.
Balaged's the modal cards. That's the one good takeaway.
Mm.
So in that's yan lang ba ang mga uncommon cards na excited ka, Ton?
Kaning Basswood Surge Food. Okay, parang
Ooh.
okay din.
Because
Kaning,
Vastwood Surge.
kanang
Uncommon.
si Junta gulay-gulay.
Ah,
Similar to explosive vegetation.
but it has kicker. Oh wow. But it's a plus up. If this spell was kicked, put two. It's a overrun effect for.
Yes. Like an explosive vegetation with an upside if you kick it.
Yes, if you top deck this in the late game, if you have the mana which you ramped with the first few Vastwood Surge, +2/+2 on each creature for 8 mana. And you
You get
get
two lands also.
two lands also. So landfall triggers, +1/+1.
Oh. No, overrun.
I can feel that the white green +1/+1 counters with the Felidar Retreat, the landfall that gives +1/+1 counters to each creature.
No.
The enchantment, the white enchantment. Oh my gulay, mind blown. I am mind blown. This is a good good one of or two of in that landfall deck. in landfall decks actually. And in limited, if somebody casts this with kicker, they might be probably very way ahead if they can cast this with a board full of creatures. So,
No.
with yun lang ba ang mga uncommons or magdiretso na tayo sa common? May common ka bang nakita na parang, uy, may common pala na ayos, oh.
Parang playable na common meron.
Which is that playable common?
Maybe Kazandu Nectar Pot.
Ooh. Kazandu Nectar Pot. Ayan. Ooh. Sideboard
This is
card.
like the Jedi offshoot before. But
Oh.
this is a 2-drop instead of 1-drop.
But it has 1 power, so it can now block
Yes.
1/1 creatures.
It can kill the 1 toughness creatures.
So it can kill the knight, the 1/1 knight against red decks.
No.
Then you gain life while developing your board. So this is a very good sideboard card. I have to agree. This is one of the better sideboard green cards that we might
Maybe
see heavy
even main
play.
deck.
Yeah, main deck.
Jedi offshoot before. Yeah, Jedi offshoot before was main deck before. Since there was a lot of red decks.
Yeah. So if the
They main
meta
deck the Jedi offshoot.
if Mono Red sees this card on turn 2, they need to pick up the pace because they can block all day and they gain life while you are trying to one up the insect. So how about I'm trying to look for commons that is very unique. I think Oh, this Ngarlid Colony is a very good limited card at common because it's a very good. It's a grizzly bear. It's a grizzly bear in the early game, and if you play it with kicker, it becomes a 4/4 that has each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. It's very good in limited, and I think what TonTon pick for the uncommon cards and the common cards are also the cards that I'm very excited to see in standard. So, Ton,
Yes. No.
so that wraps up our set review for green. Yes. And
Yes.
before we wrap things up, mini interview na naman. First of all, thank you, Ton, for taking time in doing this set review and putting color into our community and giving me the hobby, 'di ba? Because 'di ba? Akala pa lang para malaman din ng mga tao kung ano talaga ang boses ni TonTon. Anyway, but before we go, Ton, pa-announce kung ano ang schedule natin for Zendikar Rising. Ano ang schedule natin from this week? Because this video would come up on today is a Wednesday, right? So this will go up on Thursday morning or Thursday lunch. So ano yung mga events na mangyari from this point up to Zendikar Rising sa shop?
So this week is same lang from normal standard and modern 30s. Next week ang hindi ko sure.
It
Hindi pa sure yung
depends.
kung ma-ship yung ATR tax it depends.
So if anybody is curious why sometimes we have our pre-release delayed way back a couple of pre-release before, it is because our products comes from Manila and Manila is trying to ration it properly so that every other shops around the country gets to play pre-release, and sometimes it gets delayed. So please be to everybody who wants to play the pre-release, please be very flexible, and we hope that the package will arrive this week or next week.
Most probably next week. Next week.
So most probably. So with that, thank you very much, Ton. Thank you to everybody who is on Discord, who is listening. Meron tayong mga guests nag-drop by sa Discord. Si Chawi o si Ma'am Kat. Thank you very much for dropping by and listening, joining the podcast. And I'm very excited for Zendikar Rising. TonTon is very excited for the green cards in Zendikar Rising. Yes. And with that out of the way, this has been Nax with my very, very special guest, TonTon. And I will see you in the next video. I love you 1 million. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Ayun, okay na, Ton. Wait lang, kay napatong outro. Gikuha na kong outro. Okay kayo. Thank you kay Ton. Woohoo! 1 hour sakto. Wait lang.